Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Reds Talk and welcome to the review. Manchester United 3, Everton 1 in the FA Cup. We are through to the next round, courtesy of goals from Marcus Rashford, Conor Coder, and Antony. Not the best performance, in my personal opinion, but I'd love to hear what you think, Sam. What did you make of that game?
It wasn't pretty, was it? It was not a
No.
pretty game, that, by any stretch of imagination. It reminds me of the TLC song "Unpretty." That was what I
Yeah.
was witnessing today. Yeah, job ugly win. Like the graphics says, ugly win, but job done.
Yeah.
Into the next round, avoid a replay, which I didn't realise we were still doing. But apparently the commentators is in round 3 and 4, we're still doing
Oh,
replays. So
yeah.
yeah, that would not have been something that we needed when we've already got an absolute shit ton of games ahead of us, and then to have a replay in the middle of that as well is not good. But so yeah, Ten Hag again, not playing well, not at our best, but managing to get a win. Marcus Rashford again to save us, pretty much.
The boy. Yeah, we're definitely going to touch on Marcus Rashford a little bit later on. I want to kind of, take it back to just before the game, coming into this one. Obviously, we was very confident in if anyone who watched the preview know we was kind of saying 3-0, 4-0. Everton were on a low. The league form has been an absolute abysmal. Lampard discussions if he's going to be sacked or not. But they still showed quality in certain areas, right?
Yeah. The Damari Gray was very, very good. I thought he was excellent. I think he was their best player by a long thing. The finishing end product just didn't quite seem to be there for him. I think better finishing and a better pass at the end, they definitely could have caused the trouble. And then you saw it with the disallowed goal with Calvert-Lewin. Damari Gray again causing problems, gets into a dangerous area, and Calvert-Lewin puts it in the back of the net, which is what he does. Got chalked off for offside, which they didn't show us. Weirdly, like
The
the
weird one, wasn't
decision didn't show us until like way later on, which was weird. But so I had no idea whether it was offside or not. But yeah, they had some players who caused some issues. Obviously, Alex Iwobi went off early with an injury, but and Pickford again, some really good saves from Pickford. The Bruno shot comes to mind. So yeah, some of their players showed up and put in some performances.
I really like Onana as a player. I think he's a proper physical specimen. I think he gets stuck in. He's got good qualities on the ball. I think he's a good signing for them. Damari Gray, like he touched on then, just kept getting into space. I thought I'm going to touch on our defensive issues again a little bit later as well. But the amount of space he got when he was picking up, it's like we didn't learn from last time when we last played him at Old Trafford. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I touched on the situation with Damari Gray. You know, when he gets on the left hand side and Fred doesn't like pick up that foul, that tactical foul, and they go up the other end and score. And that was flashing back in my mind every time he picked up that ball on the left hand side, or if he'd float over to the right, I'd be like, please, just someone shut him down, show him a bit of physicality, and hit him. And I thought the wing back for us, Sam, Malacia in particular, wasn't great.
First half, he was
Yeah,
poor, very poor.
he was terrible. There was a situation even, it might have been in the second half, where Damari Gray skins him and Calvert-Lewin scores in the offside goal. And it's just like, you need to do better there.
Yeah.
Dalot, I think, would you say it's more excusable because he's only just come back from injury?
Yeah, hamstring injuries are weird ones, aren't they? Like, it's where all your pace is, it's where your explosivity comes from, and someone like Dalot, that's what he relies upon. So yeah, I think he just needs time, and I think he'll be back to what we saw just before the World Cup. I think he'll be all right. I was actually surprised he started, to be honest with you. I didn't think he'd start the game. I thought Wan-Bissaka, because he's done well recently, I thought he would have started here, but maybe because Ten Hag wanted to go with a more attacking formation against Everton, maybe that's why he went with Dalot. But yeah, Dalot, I think he's coming back to his best. It's his first full game, his first minutes on a pitch since the World Cup. He hasn't played since
No. He got a brief cameo against Bournemouth. It was like a 10, 15 minutes, something like that. But it's his first full game.
Yeah, so I think just time and stuff. But yeah, Malacia in the first half looked terrible. So many times he just gave the ball away, lost possession, got caught too high up. Second half he improved a little bit, but like you just pointed out, he got done by Damari Gray on the goal that got disallowed, fortunately. But yeah, Malacia, not a good game for him at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Just on the lineup, because you mentioned that it was a bit like it did go really strong, a lot stronger than I thought.
Yeah,
anyway,
same.
Did it surprise you when the lineup came out?
Yeah, like there was no Garnacho, there was no Wan-Bissaka, there was no McTominay, no Fred. He played Varane and he put Shaw again at centre back when you've got Lindelof and Maguire and Lissandro on the bench.
Weird one.
Lissandro obviously is still coming back, so I get that one, but don't play Lindelof or Maguire.
Yeah,
and you need to be rotating. Like you've got Arsenal and City coming up. That was a weird one for me. They expect Rashford to be dropped because obviously he's on absolute fire at the minute. So why would you? And then Martial, we don't have anybody else to replace him. Anthony, I'm surprised he got another opportunity because I thought he's been horrible the last couple of games. And in that first half, he was by far the worst player we had. He was,
even though he scored, he was still like,
he was shockingly bad. I will touch on him individually,
definitely.
But yeah, it was a weird one. It was a very strong team, and I didn't think that would happen, but
yeah,
there you are.
Just on Antony, because we could touch on him now, and I want to talk about Bruno Fernandes as well, because I'm kind of putting them two in the same bracket at the minute. I feel like they both play at like 120 degrees heat all the time. They never have this like cooling period or know when to calm down and simmer. You know, like if you're in an orchestra, you don't constantly stay at the same tempo really, really high. You have to like melodically flow with it. And these two, it just seems like they're very hot-headed constantly.
Yeah.
And it shows in the performances because they get it in a certain area of the pitch. Like, for example, when Bruno, when he brought that lovely touch, when he brought it down, and then the shot straight after it was just like pinged out for a throw-in or something. And it's just like you need that balance there. Them two in particular, I thought, I don't know what you thought of their performances, but for me, they was just very flippant.
Yeah, like Adam said in our group chat, is Bruno playing? Because he didn't touch the ball for about 30 minutes. Like I didn't see him do much or anything. And then Anthony, first half was so frustrating. He'd get the ball, and as a winger, especially his type of winger, run at fullback, have a go at him, take him on, do some trickery, do like dribbles, something. Every time he got the ball, he would run for about 2 yards, stop,
pause,
have a look round, pause, and then pass sideways or backwards. Every fucking time, and he just ruined.
His right foot either. The right
he ruined the momentum every single time the ball went out to him. Every time he had an outlet, he had space, and he got the ball. He just stopped the momentum dead, and it was infuriating to watch that first half. Absolutely infuriating. And like you said, he scored, but that ball in from, was it Rashford who was the assist, or was it? Yeah, Rashford. That was a fantastic ball across the 6-yard box. And he was at the back post, so he was in the right place at the right time, which, credit to him for that. But his build-up play and his like involvement in the sort of work up to the goal was terrible, absolutely terrible.
Yeah. I don't mind someone being very one-footed, like Arjen Robben was very one-footed, notoriously. But he still uses right at times when you at the basic stuff when you need to. I see him like there'll be an opportunity in the corner where he could take a touch easily with his right foot, which would be better positioning for him so he could put a cross in. But he always goes with his left. He's always touched it like, and I didn't mind it at first, but he's starting to irritate me more and more now because when he first came, it was like a breath of fresh air at the start. He was like aggressive. He was on it. His defensive work was really good. He was running at players. It's just got. I don't know if it's just like a patch at the minute. I have no idea. But I think when Jadon Sancho comes back, that should give him the kick up the arse if he comes back on it, because I would start playing him there until Anthony books his ideas up. Because I know Anthony plays on that side for tactical reasons. You see Dalot always makes that underlapping run, and then he stays out wide and keeps the width, and it's important for our attacking process.
I mean, it's perfect for Sancho. If he comes back, all he has to do is play 1 or 2 good games in that position.
Exactly.
Because Anthony's out of form. He's awful. Also, Dalot, the amount of times he could have crossed that ball and didn't was doing my head in. Honest to God, there was one where he got the ball off Anthony and he had no Everton players in front of him, and it was 3 or 4 United players in the box. Didn't cross it, just decided to try and dribble through and lost the ball. I'm like, just put the ball in the box. Like, just cross it. You're a fullback, man. Like, just put the ball in the box. Like, it was so annoying.
And even if you don't have anyone necessarily to hit, because we don't really have a target man in there, there was still players there about. There was 3 or 4 players in the box. Hit a low one. You don't know what's going to happen. It's better than doing nothing and just watching it and then going back.
Happened with the own goal, didn't it? He put the ball across into a dangerous area, and Conor Cody hits it into the back of his own net.
Exactly.
Like, you cause problems, it causes chaos, and it causes defenders uncertainty. If you just run at them, they're well happy with that. They're like, I'll just let him run into a dead end. It was frustrating, like really frustrating on that side. And then we just seem to want to do everything down the left because of that. Then we just put all the attacks down the left because Dalot and Anthony were just not cutting it. So we were just putting all these attacks down the left, and just everything was going through Marcus Rashford. And I thought he's our man of the match, but I don't think he was at his absolute scintillating best that he has been in previous games. He was very, very good, but I don't think he was like absolute, because there was a couple of times he was running into defenders, touches weren't quite coming off, etc. But he was still very, very good.
Yeah, offensively on that side we was good. I thought defensively there was like we already touched on Malacia, we already touched on Dalot defensively as well, but a glaring issue for me throughout the full game was the positioning when Everton got a transition. So when they got the ball, it seemed like there was tons of space for Demarai Gray, Onana, whoever it was who was kind of making these. Seamus Coleman at times as well. Why do you think that was? Why was there so much space in that game? Because Casemiro was playing. I don't think it was his best game by any stretch of imagination.
No, definitely not. I think a lot of players weren't on it. Like our pressing seemed to be not as intense as it normally is. Eriksen, I thought was very. He seemed. I don't want to say lazy, but he just seemed very tired. So he's pressing. He wasn't pressing people, and there was a couple of times he would be like one of the deeper players, and the Everton player would be coming on to us, and he wouldn't press him, and then he just danced past him, just let him go. And I think a lot of players had sort of performances like that. Malacia had performances like that. Dalot obviously is not up to speed. That was an issue. Shaw was fine. Like, he didn't do anything wrong, but he was all right. Varane, I thought, had a very good game. I thought he was trying to make stuff happen. He was trying to push us forward. He was at one point, he was on the right wing, and he darted past the Everton defender, didn't he, with a little dink round the outside. So, yeah, he was trying to make stuff happen, but everybody else just seemed like lackluster, not on it, tired. I don't know what the reasoning was.
One area we did highlight in the preview again was that midfield, the fact that Onana, Iwobi, very physical, athletic style of players. And when you're coming up against Eriksen, who, for all his brilliance and his creativity and his on the ball play and stuff, he does lack it slightly physical. And one thing that stuck with me with Aaron that he said, it's like when he runs, it's like he's in the mud. He can't keep up with that. When Iwobi gets it on the transition on a counter attack, he can't keep up with that. And that was something I think as well in the City game when we last played City, when we got beat 6-3. That was something that worried. So maybe that's something to focus on in when we play City next time. I will probably play Fred and Casemiro and Bruno ahead of him, and then play Eriksen in the games where there's going to be a low block. Just think, do you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
You're going to get more time on the ball. You're going to get freedom. Yeah. I think he might play Scott McTominay against City.
I don't get why he didn't come on earlier, McTominay. I was screaming for it in like the 70th minute.
He's not 100% fit, is he? They was saying on commentary he had an injury or an illness or something like that, so maybe he's not. Okay. Maybe he's not 100% yet. I was surprised Anthony wasn't hauled off quicker. Like, I thought that he was screaming out to put Rashford on the right and bring Garnacho in. That was screaming out for me, but that didn't happen. But yeah, again, Casemiro, not at his best. Didn't really do anything wrong, but not at the level he has been for the previous couple of games. So yeah, a lot of players weren't at their top form today.
Let's say that'd be a reoccurring theme. They'll probably be saying that now in the dressing room. It was like, listen, there was about 5 or 6, 7 bad performances there. There was literally a handful of players who were decent, and one of the handful of players was Marcus Rashford. Have to discuss him in depth. The first Manchester United player to score in 7 consecutive home appearances in all competitions since Wayne Rooney in 2012. Played really well, was a constant threat in the battle with Godfrey, who actually I thought Godfrey did all right. I hate him, can't stand the guy, but I thought he did okay in certain situations.
They kicked off with each other, didn't they? Like during the game, so they had a battle, and he did the same to Haaland, City, didn't he? He gave him a rough time, like proper battle. So,
he is a proper shithouse. But I suppose when he's shithouse for you, I'm sure Everton fans really appreciate him. It's like us with Alessandro. Thought he did okay. Is Marcus Rashford the key to us having a successful season if he stays in that form? If he can continue to perform how he's doing right now, do you think that's the key to success?
It's definitely one of them. I think he's one of the key, because obviously our forward line is like severely lacking in depth. Like, we don't have a lot of options there. We've got Garnacho, who very talented, but very young, so he's gonna have ups and downs and peaks and troughs, etc. Sancho, we don't know when he's coming back. He's in the UK and he's training, but he's not with the rest of the group, so we don't know what's happening there. Ilanga, not. I don't think he's United material. I think he's below par. So I think he's not longed for this team. And then Anthony Martial's our only number 9 striker. That's it. So if we lose Rashford, it loses sort of any impetus in that front line, and you're basically relying on Anthony showing up and Martial suddenly finding the scoring boots, and Garnacho. That's who you're relying on, and it's not going to compete with the likes of City with Haaland, De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez, Jack Grealish. You know what I mean? It's
and
not
the rest.
Arsenal with Gabriel Jesus and Odegaard, and you know what I mean, Martinelli. It's not going to compete with that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm just double checking the goals because so it was I had to just get that right. I want to discuss the goals actually, because the first goal Anthony gets on the score sheet. Happy for him. Obviously, we don't know what happens in his performance-wise, how he goes on to play. Yeah. Happy he gets his goal, relatively decent goal. Do we start with the positive ones, or do you want to just go straight to the?
Let's go positive.
Positive.
We won, didn't we? So.
Yeah, we've already touched on the first one. It's a great ball, great delivery from Rashford. Anthony taps it in. You have to be in the right spots. It is a tap in. He gets his goal.
Yep.
They then equalise. What was your thoughts on the equalising goal from them?
What do we want to say about David De Gea? Do you know what I mean? That was
what's he doing though?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he thinks is happening with that ball. Like, he's got his hand on the post. Why has he not got both hands ready to pick that up? And then why is he letting it hit the inside of one leg and then the other leg, and then it's going in the back of the net? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand his thinking. I don't understand his stance. I don't understand why he's not just grabbing it with his hands.
His legs is the weird one for me.
Yeah.
It's like he was stuck. Like, literally stuck in the mud. Like, you couldn't move your legs out of the thing. Like, they were just planted. And it was a very, very strange one. And this is, in the grand scheme of things, David De Gea has been a fantastic keeper for us. It's been unbelievable. And his form, he brought us out the shit against Bournemouth in the last game. But this is a reoccurring theme in his game. This has happened so many times. Whether it's when we're playing shit, when we're playing good, he's always seemed to have a mistake.
He's got an error in him at some point, all the time.
What's that down to though? Because it's not like I don't know what it's down to. I don't know if it's just a lapse in concentration. Like, I can't get my head around it at all.
It must be something like that. It must be a lot. Like, my mate Dan is a Tottenham fan, and Hugo Lloris is the same thing.
Yeah,
he does the same thing. He's a World
probably
Cup
more error prone.
He's a World Cup winning goalkeeper, and you can't trust him because he'll put a calamity in at some point during his game. He does weird decisions and straight. There was another bit with De Gea where he came out off his line, out of the box, not communicating with his I think it was Varane, to come out to claim the ball, and Varane turned around and went, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing?" He's just I don't know if it's lapse in concentration or he doesn't scan to see what's around him and what's happening. I don't get it. I can't explain it. I really can't explain it.
But he then is in that collective of people who had a bad performance. He sits in there with like Malacio, Antony, Bruno. Like, he's in that category. They all had a very strange game today. It was very much a cup tie. I thought that was like the theme throughout the full thing.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't reflect the league form of these two teams at all, did it?
Not at all. That's what the cup does. It happens sometimes. We then score again. Marcus Rashford involved again. I didn't even realise he was involved in all 3 goals, wasn't he? In fairness to him. So, involved in the goal again. Own goal. Slightly unlucky from Everton's part, but you take it in these cup ties, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if it goes in the back of the net, you count it. You'll take it. I'll take anything that goes in the back of the net means we win. Especially when you have performances like that, you have to take your bit of luck, don't you? You have to take your chances. Like, if it ricochets off a guy's arse and goes in the net, or if it dribbles across the line, take it, man. Take the win.
Yeah, at the time I had loads of people in the TikTok live saying Connor Cody's on a hat trick now. He scored for them and he scored his own goal against us and he needed a third. What about the penalty then? Obviously, it kind of gets a little bit nervy towards the end. I was saying on a live, I feel like
we needed a third.
I feel like Calvert-Lewin's going to score again here, man, in like the last minute, which he obviously did get a goal, but it was chalked offside. Luckily for us. Garnacho does well to win it, doesn't
he? Yeah. Doing what Garnacho does, balling behind, running onto it, running at defenders. He's very quick, good, very sort of technical feet, and he gets brought down. So a lot of people were saying it was soft or it's harsh. For me, it's a penalty. Like it might be.
It's a penalty, but I think it is a bit soft.
Yeah. So good on Garnacho to win it, and then Rashford balls of steel to do that sort of penalty. You got to have big cojones, as I say, to take that and Pickford goes the wrong way, smashes it on the other side, and Pickford's quite good at penalties as well. He's saved a few in his
England teammates as well.
So he probably knows where he's going to go or what he's like and stuff. So it was a very good penalty for Marcus Rashford. Shout out, there's 18 people in the chat and nobody's talking. Put some thoughts in the chat, guys. Come on, let's interact. Let's get some questions. Let's get some comments. Come on.
Let us know your man of the match as well. We're going to get into the player ratings very shortly. Let us know who you thought played bad, who you thought played well. Marcus Rashford, again, absolutely killing the game. Get your comments in. Let us know. Talk to us, man. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We're on the road now to 1,000 subs. We've got past the 900 mark. And thank you to you lovely people for getting us this far. But yeah, we're heading for 1,000. So if you can help us contribute towards that, we'd be really grateful. Overall feeling then, coming away from this game now, Sam, we're obviously into the next round of the FA Cup. Momentum gathering. We're through in the Carabao to the quarterfinals, I think it is.
Yeah.
Through now to the whatever round it is in the FA. I have no idea. We're not that far in the thingy.
Is it not the semi-final?
The Carabao. Is it?
Is it not? Is it the quarterfinal? I might be wrong.
I thought it was I might be wrong. I have no idea. Again, let us know in the chat if you know. Yeah, let us know. Overall feeling coming away from this. What do we need to tighten in our game to progress further in these cup competitions? Because if you play like that against a big team, I believe we would have gone out tonight, personally.
Yeah, like defenders weren't on it. Like people like Malacia, people like Dallo wasn't quite fit. Casemiro didn't have the best game. Martial, for all intents and purposes, was quiet, wasn't he? Didn't really sort of... He had a couple of opportunities, didn't really sort of take him.
Quiet. Yeah. Doesn't impact the game much.
Honestly, I think if Ten Hag had any other number 9, I don't think Martial would have played.
For me, you need a Mitrovic in that game, someone like that, or Ivan Toney, causing problems in that box.
I would kill for Mitrovic.
Imagine that as an option.
Yeah, bring Mitrovic on. Defenders would be like, oh, for fuck's sake, and then because then all the space gets taken up in the box by him. People are so focused on him. The space then for Rashford, Garnacho, these guys will open up even more. Martial's dropping quite a lot. He's not in the box a lot, so everything's in front of the defenders. It's off night. Like players need to step up, in games like that. Like you can't be sort of dropping below par before. You might get away with it against teams like Everton or like Charlton next week and stuff. But like you said, if you play a City or you play Arsenal, you're getting beaten. Like you're getting your asses handed to you. And I hope they learn from this. And I hope Ten Hag gets into him and goes, look, you got away with that. And if it weren't for Everton, who were in terrible form and just not playing well, you definitely would have got out of this competition. So I think, it's a lesson learned. We didn't play well. We got the win, but can't be repeating those sort of performances this season, especially if we want to win a trophy. Like, can't be doing that.
Absolutely spot on that. Fully agreed. Player ratings then. Let's start with David De Gea.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow. What do you give him? For that clanger, he deserves a fucking 4 for me. He
didn't do anything wrong aside from that, and when he came out, those were the 2 things. But everything else, he was fine.
But them 2 were really bad things, though.
He would have got, if he hadn't done those, he would have got 6.5, 7 for me.
Yeah.
But he did those 2, and that takes points off. So 4.5, I'd give him. I think that error, especially at the front post, was unbelievable for a keeper of his quality and a guy who wants a new contract and You're doing that.
Not the best
Like,
timing, is it? Like, oh
you're not
god,
helping
that's
your
just
wage.
not like an extra $5,000 off his weekly
Yeah,
wage.
you're
Just
not
by
helping
doing
your
that.
wage demands, mate. So yeah, 4.5 for me. That was shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Yeah. Again, join in, guys. Anyone who's
Yeah.
currently watching now, or if you're watching later on, get in the comment section.
16
Let us know.
people. There's 16 people
Yeah.
and nobody's talking. What's going on?
Yeah.
Come on, lads.
Put your ratings in. David De Gea, what did you think? Did he have a stinker? Does he deserve lower than 4.5, or are we being too harsh? Let us know. Diego Dalot, right back, fresh back from injury. Again, we've already discussed his performance. Wasn't at his tip-top shape,
No.
but it's excusable. He's come back from a hamstring injury. I don't want to be too harsh. I'll just give him a steady 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with a 6. I think that's
6.
You can't. There was nothing special about his game, and he didn't do anything majorly wrong. So
yeah. Rafa Varane is co-defender alongside him. One of the better performances, if we're being completely honest. Thought again, he's always just like, I talk about Rashford's penalty, how smooth that was. That's how Varane plays. He's just smooth as fuck all the time, and nothing panics him. There was so many important interceptions that he made. And actually, he'd be a contender for man of the match for me, to be honest with you.
He was pushing forward as well a lot. He was attacking. He was joining in the play.
Did a little Neymar jink on the right hand side.
I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd give him a 7. I thought he was one of our best players by far.
Yeah, absolutely. Luke Shaw alongside him, steady performance, was okay again. I wouldn't say he was as good as Varane, but he wasn't as worse as some of the other players on the pitch. I'd just give him a 6.
I'd give him a 6.5 because he played decently well. He wasn't up to the standards that he was when he played the other week, with the balls and the assists and stuff like that. He wasn't at that level. He didn't seem as influential on this game as he has in previous games. So I'd give him a 6.5 just because he played out of position and he did it decently well.
That's fair. Malacia, I'll let you go on this. What would you give Malacia, Sam?
5. I thought he was, if I'm being generous, 5.5. I just didn't think he was any good. He gave the ball away. He was wasteful. He was a reason for the almost equaliser that got chalked off. Crossing wasn't good. It's just he didn't have a good game at all, Malacia, I'm afraid. He'll get better. There'll be times where he's still young. He's still new to this team. Ten Hag obviously likes him, so I'm sure he will get better. But yeah, tonight wasn't his night.
He'll learn a lot from tonight. That's the thing. I think there's one thing to leave this game with. It's just a lesson. Yeah. A lesson in like you ain't where you want to be right now. You need to still levels to go up. If you think you was as good as you were. Casemiro again, another quiet game for him. There was some good things that he did. Other times I saw him caught out of possession, similar to what we saw when he first came in, little bits like that. Some stray passes, but average for Casemiro standards the way he's been at the minute. Average for me for 6, probably 6.5 at a push.
Yeah, I'd give him a 6.5 just because I think any other player plays like that, you'd probably give him a 7, but because it's Casemiro and the standards he's set, not only for us, but in his career and stuff, you'd expect a little bit better. And he's been far more influential in the last couple of games. Like him and Shaw have been like up there with our best players, like Rashford as well. So you'd definitely expect better of him.
In fairness, I don't think he was helped by the midfielder alongside him, because they have, as we touched on a few times, an athletic, strong midfield. And Casemiro was kind of dealing with that on his own at certain times. So yeah, I think that's a fair rating. Eriksen. I don't know with Christian Eriksen. What would you give him? I'm a bit torn on that.
I give him a 6. Like he had a couple of opportunities on the attacking front where he did well. There was that curling shot that just scraped the bar. Yeah, a couple of good passing and stuff like that. But then like defensively and then in the transitions and out of possession, he wasn't up for it. His pressing wasn't there. He wasn't putting tackles in. He wasn't trying to get the ball back that hard. So yeah, for me, 6. He just one end of the spectrum is decent, the other end of the spectrum not so great, so I have to give him an average.
I don't want to compare him to Kevin De Bruyne because everyone can't be Kevin De Bruyne.
No.
But the reason why City's midfield works so well, they have Rodri, we have Casemiro. We have then Eriksen, who plays in like the De Bruyne role, but De Bruyne is very quick. He's like underrated. Like he's super quick, super physical, and he can get back into position and does the defensive work. Eriksen doesn't do that.
No.
And then you have the one who's further up, who's like a Bernardo Silva or a Foden, which is what Bruno does. But Bruno lacks the composure at times, and then Eriksen physically is off it on that trend. That's something that needs to be looked at, because I don't think, as good as Eriksen is, and as good as Bruno can be at times, I don't think they can play in a midfield together, and I don't think we could win a title with them two in midfield. Me personally, just my.
I think if you've got a physical midfield, like you said with the Everton one, that's where you have the squad depth to sort of change the option up. You sort of bring in a different sort of midfielder in, and like I like Fred, I do. I think has his qualities, and I think Scott Mateo's good, but I don't think they're of the caliber that you need to sort of win these sort of games. If you had like somebody, I'm trying to think of.
Well, look at Madrid's midfield: Tchouaméni, Camavinga. Like they've got them to bring on when Kroos, Modric playing. They've got Camavinga, like athletic, strong players to bring on.
You need somebody like that to play in these sort of games where you're going to get like battered in that midfield. And like you said previously, like when you play a team with a low block or you're going to have a lot of the ball, that's where you get Eriksen in, because he's going to destroy that and he's going to tear them apart. But like in this sort of games where you got to battle a bit, you need a bit more physicality in there, but you also need that guy who's good on the ball. And Scott McTominay has got that physicality, but his ball progression, his passing leaves a lot to be desired sometimes. So
yeah, absolutely. So Christian Eriksen, what do we go with? 6?
I'd go with 6. Just
okay. Yeah. Bruno Fernandes, is he in the same party, or do you think his worst performance? He's been a bit weird, Bruno. I know in the past couple of games he's been like, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is at the minute. He in an interview he was saying, look, my stats aren't as good as when I first came in, but I'm playing better than when I was. And I was like, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I don't think his past couple of games, like Anthony, I don't think he's been that great. I'd say he's underwhelming. I'd say he's below a 6, 5.5 for me.
Yeah, he had small moments of like a couple of passes and stuff like that, but for the most part, he wasn't involved. He wasn't making an impact on the game. He had that stupid yellow early in the game that just didn't need to do. Like,
frustrating me that.
Like why are you doing that so early in the game? It's just not needed. So yeah, he just wasn't great. And for his standard, I'd give him a 5.5. To be honest, I just think he was below what he can do, and like that's the sort of game you need him to step up and influence, especially as captain. Like you need to step up and be like, exactly. Take this game by the scruff of the neck and let's do something. And it just wasn't, just didn't do it. And I need more from Bruno, especially this year. This year he has to step up. Ronaldo's not there anymore. He's been given the captain's armband. Like, step up, man. You need to start performing.
He does. That captain's armband was a good point you mentioned. Some people might forget that he is the captain. Like he has to set the standards, and he ain't doing that at the minute. Anthony, same boat. Got a goal. He was probably worse performance than Bruno, but his goal probably bumps him up to a similar rating. I'd suggest a 5.5.
Yeah. Well, if I give Bruno a 5.5, I'll give Anthony a 6 because he got a goal. So I'll give him a 6 to go. But he was just first half. He was terrible. The worst player on the pitch in the first half. Just giving the ball away, stopping any sort of attack or counter, just hesitating.
Basic passes though.
Yeah, like wasn't trying any of the trickery that he's known for. Wasn't running at defenders. Wasn't doing any of that. He came out in the second half, and Ten Hag must have had a word with him because he started doing that stuff a bit more in the second half.
There was one bit. Remember, we did a little like drag back around the thing.
Exactly.
Shit like that. That's what you want to see. Run at your man. Scare him.
Like Ten Hag must have had a word and just be like, look, you need to start having a go at these defenders. So he played a little better in the second half, but that first half was terrible. So I'd give him a 6.
Going to be interesting to see what happens when Jadon Sancho comes back.
That position says if he wants it, man. If he comes back and plays well, it's his.
Well, that's what I'd be thinking now. If I'm Sancho coming back, I'm looking at that performance. I'm like, if I even hit the ground slightly running, I could just pick that position up, no problem. Martial, quiet. Did a couple of nice things, like footwork, really nice again. But I'm saying that after every game.
Yeah.
I'm literally saying that after the Bournemouth game. I said it after the game before that. I said it. Like, footwork, really nice. Link up play, really nice. That's it. Nothing else. Like, doesn't get into the game. Doesn't get involved physically. He's just happy to take it on the half turn, give it, go, and that's it. I need more from him.
Yeah, so it doesn't make an effect on the game. Like, he could play that or not play it. You could put anyone up front and it'd be the same result because he just doesn't affect the game enough for me. Like, he needs to have an impact on the game. And now the goals are dried up as well. Like, he hasn't scored here.
Exactly.
He didn't score in the last one. Like, I don't know how long you can excuse it for. But, like we said, we're in this position because we don't have another striker.
I don't mind him as rotation.
Yeah.
It's just because there's no one there. Then every single team that you're coming up against, they know what they're coming. They know what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
So
basically, they know he's going to drop deep. So it's just like, we don't have to worry about this penalty area because there's not going to be anybody in there.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about it. And it's just, I think if Ten Hag had any other option other than Charlie McNeil, Martial probably wouldn't play tonight. I don't think.
Yeah. And this is the aftermath of Ronaldo going as well. Obviously, we know that.
Before Ronaldo, we had Ronaldo and Martial. Martial was injured, so effectively we only had one striker then because all we had was Ronaldo. So this is the same issue. Like, you need effectively Martial. You need another striker, and then you need a prospect coming up. That should be your striker sort of setup. So you give the prospect time in like a Charlton game and stuff like that. And then on nights like this where you think, Martial's not physically, he's not sort of there, you can bring on this other option and change things up a little bit and keep the team guessing. But we haven't got that. Is João Felix that guy? I don't think so. I think he's a great player. I think he's fantastic. Does he offer that different option for Martial? Is he that physical presence? Is he going to be that nuisance? I don't think he is. Like we said, I think a guy like Mitrovic is the answer. I think that's the way you need to go. But he's going to cost a fortune as well. So it's like, what do you do?
That's what I'm saying. And the timing of this is going to be important because we've got big games coming up now. Are you going to then wait until after the Arsenal and City game to then bring a striker in? Like, no idea what's going to go on with that. Hopefully we hear something very shortly. And obviously we will go live if and when that happens. So, stay tuned for that. Last but not least, the ever great inform Marcusio Rashford, man of the match for me, 7.5 rating. Was involved. I'd probably push it up to an 8. Was involved in every goal. Was pivotal for us winning pretty much again, like Marcus Rashford does in the form of his life at the minute.
Yeah, no, he's been our best player for the last 5-6 games. Yeah. He's been phenomenal. He's scoring goals. He's running at players. He looks happy. He's smiling. He's on his back on his face. He's enjoying his football. He can assist. He can score. He can get at defenders. He causes all sorts of problems. And just he again in the clutch. He's he comes through for us again. Not playing well, struggling. Sets up Anthony for his goal. Pretty much scores the own goal because he was the one that gets in and stuff, and then scores a banger of a penalty. But so he's just, he's our best player right now. He's absolutely fantastic. And who would have thought after the season he had last season, where he was our worst player by a long way. Yeah, he's got Ten Hag's turned him into the player we all know he can be. Shout out to Daniel Harper in the chat. Yes, boys, how's it going? We're good, mate. Thank you. Is he one of the TikTok lads, Daniel Harper?
I think so. Yeah.
Shout out, Dan. How's it going?
Yeah. Big up everyone for tuning in as well. Really appreciate the support again. Marcus Rashford races us to the next round of the FA Cup. Eric Ten Hag's men still in 4 competitions, still fighting for top 4. It's actually nice to be a Manchester United fan for once. We're winning a lot of games, which is
looking forward to the games now.
Yeah,
it's enjoyable.
That's it, isn't it? Who we next got up? Charlton Tuesday. Is that what it is? Yeah. So, probably over the weekend we're playing a bit of FIFA, doing some foot champs, nice chilled content, and then Monday we'll have the preview for Charlton. Game day on Tuesday. Wednesday will be the preview. Well, do we play City on Monday? Oh, no, it'll be Thursday, won't it? We play Man City.
Yeah.
I think. Let me just double check.
I think Aaron is going to the Charlton game, so we will have some goals and some footage, hopefully. So make sure you subscribe to the channel because we always put the shorts up when we're at the ground. Nick,
shit!
What?
We play City on Saturday. I thought it was midweek.
Oh, really?
A midweek game. Yeah. So we play them on Saturday at 12:30 kickoff.
I hate the early kickoffs.
Don't like them kickoffs. Yeah. So we'll have some breaking news shows then, and it'll be split up, but there'll be loads of content anyway. So
we've got a few new content ideas floating around as well, so look out for those. It'll be some interesting stuff. We're going to try and change it up a little bit, like keep it interesting. So keep your eye out for it.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for coming on, Sam. As always, it is Friday night. I know it's a little bit late, but 8 o'clock against Everton FA Cup's a bit of a mad one, isn't it, for a Friday?
It's the middle of January. We're all broke, so.
Exactly. Very good point. Yeah, we'll leave on that. Thank you for coming on. Cheers for tuning in, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Follow all the socials in the description. Peace.